Bob, hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes, Umar alaikum salam.
Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very good.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Hisham.
So, just a reminder if you want to take a seat, you just have to come close to a chair, and the icon on the bottom, you just press the chair icon and you will be seated.
دخلتني. اوكي. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Iman.
Morning.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you are all doing well. Thank you so much for joining us for the pitch day of the 80 Ports Group Innovation Hackathon in the Metaverse. We're all excited to welcome you back to the space. We've had an exciting couple of days, where we've tested out the Metaverse platform. We've learned new tools, new frameworks, and most importantly, the teams have had the opportunity to work on new ideas and new solutions for specific challenge statements and focus areas for the group overall. As you all know, my name is Hisham, and an interesting question I asked is earlier, how closely does my avatar resemble my photo? I, I think the hair is a little bit longer, much longer now. This photo is a bit old, but maybe if everyone could just send out a quick emoji of what they think of my avatar and my photo. I think that would be an interesting way to get started today. Uh, I see Pablo's giving a thumbs up. That's great. A couple of smiley faces. Uh, I personally will send out a rocket emoji, also kind of in line with the UA's space mission that was launched yesterday to the International Space Station. Very, very exciting times. But coming back to what we were talking about in terms of what is this hackathon about, and essentially it was bringing everyone together to experience new technologies, but then also work on three key areas that are crucial for the strategic objectives of the group in general, and come up with new ideas and new innovative solutions to potentially implement them at some point in the future. The three focus areas that we selected were innovation and new technologies, synergies and collaboration, and growth and product development. On the innovation and new technologies front, how might the group become a leader or transform the mobility and logistics industries by integrating innovation and tech solutions? On the synergies and collaboration front, leveraging the entire group's capabilities and resources to achieve strategic objectives. And finally, on the growth and product development side, making the group companies more customer centric, either through new products, new services, and new market growth strategies and so on. It was quite interesting to see everyone's response to this. The teams were very, very excited. I remember during the training days, we hadn't even started the working sessions, and some of the teams were already coming up with ideas. So really excited to seeing them today. Just a reminder on the judging criteria. So as I was mentioning, idea and impact on the group hold the highest weights. And the reason for that is we don't want necessarily ideas that have been done before or are very simple or basic in terms of their conception. And most importantly, we also want ideas that are impactful on a wider scale as opposed to within a specific team or a specific business unit. Innovation, as the name of the Innovation Week is, plus the hackathon, how can we incorporate newer technologies, but not just for the sake of them. We oftentimes hear, the buzzwords, Web3 and so on, but do they really make sense for this kind of a solution? The team is also a component. So it was very, very, fascinating and exciting to see that a lot of the team members met each other for the first time at the hackathon. So despite that, all of you were able to get to know each other fairly quickly and start the task at hand. So when we say team, we're talking about your backgrounds, your experiences, and how that relates to taking this potential project or idea forward. And pitching quality. So we wrapped up the training days with a pitching workshop. So kind of just, how best are you able to communicate your ideas? How effective is the communication and so on? And hopefully we will be selecting the winners after the pitching session ends. For the teams as well as the judges, this is the format of today's pitch day. So it will be a 5-minute pitch. As you can see under the screen, there is a timer. So teams, we will be very, very strict with the times. It's not just there for show, but it's also an opportunity to just make sure that everyone gets sufficient time. And then I will be handing it over to the judging panel for a couple of minutes of Q&As. So that's overall the format of the pitching and the day itself. A big welcome to all of our judges. I'd love to introduce each of them individually. Iman Al-Khalaki, VP of Innovation, Abu Dhabi Ports Group. Kylene Ting, Head of Innovation and R&D at ADQ. Dr. Muhammad Saeed, Research Scientist, AD Ports Group. Gideon Loden, Acting Vice President Corporate Commercial at Abu Dhabi Ports Group. And myself as well, Program Manager at Plug and Play Abu Dhabi. I will be more of a silent judge in the sense that I will not be scoring the teams, but I will be providing feedback based on all the different elements that we discussed and went through for the hackathon. Thank you so much, judges, for taking the time to join us today. Hopefully it's going to be a very exciting day. And with that being said, I know the teams are nervous, stressed out. That's perfectly normal. But we will kick off the pitching session now. So teams, if I could ask you to exit the pitch room area. At this point, you can go back to your team rooms, and we will ask each of you to come back into the area one by one. Judges, if I could ask you to just remain within the area, as I would like to do a quick brief on the scoring mechanism. So thank you so much, teams. If I could ask all of you to go back to your team rooms, and we'll call you back individually.
Maha, Kareem, if you can leave to your rooms. Mark, if you can also go back to your room, to your team.
Is there anyone else?
Hi, Kellen. Good morning.
Hi, judges. So just one more minute until everyone leaves the space. Perviz, if I could ask you to please go back to your team room, and we will ask you to join us again shortly. But in the meantime, judges, if I could also ask you to, share your microphone, so just testing out the audio. I know, Iman, your audio is working fine, but other judges, Dr. Muhammad, Kailing, Gideon, just so we, before I get started on the judges brief, that would be great. So Gideon, I see you're unmuted, but I don't believe we can hear you. So maybe if you could try and refresh your browser, that would be great.
Sorry, Hisham, who was having audio issues?
I believe Gideon, who is one of the judges. I can see the mute, unmute logo disappearing, but I can't believe we can hear him.
Okay, maybe this could be permissions of the web browser thing. So I'm going to ask Gideon. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but on the go-to menu on the top bar, you have Google Meet tech support. Please feel free to join us there, and I'll be able to help you.
Hi guys, I'm contacting Gideon to see if he's having any problem. So maybe if you can check the status of the other judges.
Sure. Kailing, is your audio working?
Hi, good morning, Mr. Sham. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Is this Dr. Muhammad?
Your microphone is off right now, so if you're speaking, you'll need to turn it on again.
Can you hear me?
This is
Yes.
Gideon, I think, talking. I
Yeah,
can hear
yeah.
you, Gideon.
Now,
Yeah, Gideon, we can hear you well.
Perfect. Do I need to speak, put the megaphone on or just the normal mic?
you can keep the megaphone on just so everyone in the room can hear you.
Okay.
Curious if Kayling is hearing us or her mic is working.
Yeah, we'll be checking that actually. Yeah. Dr. Muhammad, in the meanwhile, can you check your mic if it's working?
So I saw Dr. Muhammad shared his camera, which is great, but I don't believe we can hear him.
I will try to reach Kayling in via the phone to see. Yeah.
Right. Thanks, Pablo. Also, I think Dr. Muhammad is facing the same issue because I see that.
Can you hear me, Mr. Sham?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay.
All right, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we will just check if High Links is facing any issue. If not, then we will get started in a couple of minutes.
Okay, Kayling is refreshing now, so she will be joining in a few minutes. So Brian, if you can just please check if all her permissions are fine, and yeah, and for Hisham as well. I mean, Kayling will join in 1 or 2 minutes, please. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Pablo. I will check.
Thank you,
Thank
Pablo.
you very much. Hi, Kayling. Can you hear me? And is your microphone and megaphone in blue at the bottom in the bottom bar?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. I can hear you perfectly. Hisham, can you hear Kayling?
Yes, Kailing, if I could ask you to also just press the megaphone icon at the bottom with the mic icon so that everyone in the room can hear you clearly.
Yeah, so both blue. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's
Kayleen, can you talk? Kayleen, can you try speaking again? I heard like a little bit of interruption in your audio. Okay. Can you please check if you have more tabs open in your web browser? We'll try to maximize our resources and focus them on the platform itself. So I'm going to ask you to close every tab except this one and also other programs that you might have open because it seems that you're having unstable connection.
There are.
In fact, I'm going to ask if you can please come to the Google Meet room that we have in the go-to menu so that I can do a final check on you. Thank you.
so Hisham, who is missing now? Is Gideon fine and Dr. Mohammed also fine?
Yeah, so all the other judges are fine. I think with Kai Ling's audio, there's still some issue. I think there's a connection problem, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. So Brian is checking now. Brian is checking that.
Yeah.
But if the other judges are fine, and but I could hear Kayling, just a little bit lagging sometimes. But I think now she put off some platform, so she should be fine.
Yeah. So we'll just give it maybe like 1 or 2 more minutes, and then I'll quickly do the judges' brief, and then we can kick off the session. I see, Kailing, you've taken a seat at the table, so is it safe to assume that the issues are sorted now?
Yeah, just a reminder to everyone that if you want to speak and everybody can hear you, you have to be on blue microphone and blue megaphone. Yeah, so you have to click till it turns blue. Then everybody in the room can hear you.
So, Pablo, could you hear Kailing?
No, I cannot hear her now, and I see from far away. I can see her mic was off. Now I think it's on. Can you hear us, Kailing?
Yes, Kailing, we're still having problems hearing you. The device, everything is correct. She's optimizing the platform as much as she can, but I think she's having an internet limitations. So could you please join us again in the Google Meet, please? So we can take a look at that. Thank you.
Hello, Brian. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, Pablo, Brian, I think has joined.
Yeah.
Google Meet. Yeah.
Okay, so because when Kailing came in the first time, it was fine. Yeah, I mean it was just a little performance issue just for a few seconds, but it was fine. So maybe she needs to come back again.
I think it could be maybe a firewall issue potentially.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
So I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's not ideal, but if we can't hear her, that we can manage with that. But she needs to hear the team.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, judges, while we wait for Kailing to rejoin us, if I could just ask, does everyone have access to the scoring sheet? Are you able to view it, edit it, or have you faced any issues with this?
We are fine.
How can I edit it? I can see it. How do I edit it? How do I use?
Yeah, so it's a simple drop down that you'll basically fill in per team for each of the criteria. So it's a scoring mechanism from 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, and each judge has their own sheet labeled with their name. So you can just edit your scores in there. So for example, for team 1, 5, or however you would like to score it, and then that's all you need to do. The rest.
But now I cannot click on anything, right? I can just only see something.
Gideon, you need to go to your tab down. You have to choose your name in the below tab. Every one of us has a different sheet.
So I can see this. You're showing me the screen, right? You're going over the bit.
Yes.
So I'm clicking on that. And then I can just zoom in so I can see it.
Yes. So this is what you should be able to view.
I can view, but I'm not able to
edit.
Edit.
Could you maybe try opening the sheet again? Because in terms of the sharing permissions, you should have the access to edit it as well.
What?
Dr. Muhammad, are you facing any issues with the sheet, or is it fine for you?
It's fine. I can edit it. No issue.
Okay, great. I see Kailing is back. Or yes. Can you hear us, Kailing?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. So we're just testing out the judges' scoring sheet. Do you have access to it? Are you able to edit the sheet?
Just give me a second.
I'm not able to click on anything.
Hi, Hisham. Sorry, I was out of this office. Is there an issue?
I cannot edit or view. I can view the sheet, but I cannot click on anything inside it.
Oh,
So-
the problem is with Google Sheets outside of the platform.
So yeah, so Gideon, have you opened the sheet as in a separate tab?
No, just on the screen now here.
No. Yes, yeah. So you would need to access the sheet as a normal link as you would. So do you have the link to the sheet?
Oh, I have the Excel sheet separately that I had in an email.
Yes. So you would need to open it there through that link for you to be
Yeah.
to be able to edit it.
Okay, I have the Excel sheet separately on the tab.
Yeah.
Out
Okay.
of this, right,
Yeah.
so I can do it. Okay.
Yeah.
But, oh no,
and
those
then-
are just the criteria. I don't have that. Let me,
Kailing, are you able to edit your sheet?
Yep, I can.
All right, great. So if we can just sort out Gideon, then we can invite the first team.
Can you send me? I cannot. I only have the other sheets. Just basically the hackathon teams and judging criteria. I don't have.
Okay, I will just put the link to the scoring sheet in the zone chat on the platform, so you should be able to access it from there.
Okay.
Once you have the sheet open, just let me know so I can remove it from the chat.
Okay. Okay, I have it.
And
Yeah,
you're able.
I have it.
Okay, and you're able to edit the scores?
Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
I can.
Fantastic. Great. So essentially, just to quickly run through the scoring, 5 criteria. There's some questions there to help guide your scoring. 5 is the highest score, 1 is the lowest score. After the team has pitched, we will ask them, and the Q&A has finished, we will ask them to leave the space, and we will give you, 5 minutes or so to just fill in your scores. And I will basically be checking in once all the judges are done with their scoring. But in case there are no other questions, we will invite team number 1 now. So hi, Carlos. Please share your screen, and then I'll just give you a quick countdown, and then you can start your presentation. Just to let you know, there are going to be, in case you're not looking at the timer, there will be chimes at, I believe, 4 minutes, and then right before the 5-minute mark, just so you can wrap up your presentation. But if everything is all well, the floor is yours, Carlos, and Team 1. Best of luck.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. We are Team 1, and we will present our idea now. Our vision is to place AD Ports Group as a green innovation global leader that provides solutions that will contribute to overcoming current emission challenges and ensure a sustainable future for present and future generations. The problem we identified was that AD Ports Group fuel expenses are one of the major expenses of the group, and the group's current water and land fleet's fuel consumptions contribute to the increase of global emissions. The solution that we are proposing is to transition from diesel to green hydrogen. For this, we will engage existing solution providers to retrofit all diesel engines in the group's water and land fleets to run on green hydrogen diesel mixed fuel solutions that will reduce emissions and fuel costs drastically. The technology that we intend to use was developed by the engineers at the University of New South Wales in Australia. They have successfully modified the conventional diesel engine to use a mix of hydrogen and small amount of diesel, claiming their patented technology has cut carbon dioxide emissions by more than 85% and fuel efficiency of 26%. This is the work of Professor Sean Cook and his team at the University School of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering. The collaborative research performed with Dr. Sean Chan and Professor Evat Hawkes found the specifically timed hydrogen direct injection controls the mixture condition inside the cylinder of the engine, which resolves harmful nitrogen oxide emissions that have been a major hurdle for the commercialization of hydrogen engines. We already contacted Professor Cook and are waiting on his feedback that will help with any future feasibility studies. This has been a peer-reviewed paper, which you can find in the International Journal of Hydrogen Energy. The benefits of implementing this solution. So, efficiency. cost savings contribution and utilization of existing stakeholders' capabilities. Environmental impact, reduce carbon dioxide emissions. Marine shipping alone is responsible for 3% of total global emissions. Awareness, raise public awareness of AD Ports Group commitment to innovate and be a green technologies leader. Become a market leader, to be the first to implement this solution in the region and maybe the world if it is implemented swiftly. Knowledge sharing, exchange lessons learned between UAE's industries where this solution applies. More statistics, measure the long-term carbon footprint and cost savings done by AD Ports Group. Our USPs. So we'll be raising the bar, setting a high maritime logistics and energy sustainable industry standard at the international level. Green organization. We will be improving the company's ESG and CSR efforts and emphasize a greener company image. Business and intelligent decision making. Sustainable marine and land transport service that will position the Abu Dhabi Emirate in the top 5 governments by 2030, and the credit will go to AD Ports Group leadership and the group's sustainability efforts. The key organizations that will benefit from this and target institutions that we identified right now. So AD Ports Group, ADNOC, Etihad Rail, Department of Municipalities and Transport, ADNEC Group, Abu Dhabi Shipbuilding, they will all benefit directly. With the objectives that we will target are from the institutions such as Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, UN Environment, Environment Agency Abu Dhabi, IMO, and last but not least, COP28 UAE that will take place this November. What are our asks? We need the buy-in of senior management, so we need their belief and their approval on the idea, and their support is essential. Research. We need more research and feasibility studies to be done, and we need so we can ensure that we target, that we steer this idea in the right direction. Resources. Human capital and the in-house resources will be substantial for the success of this innovation. And time. This innovation will take time to implement and see results. It's aimed at the long-term objectives of the company and the nation. Thank you. We have more in-depth reasoning about our idea and how we came up to this idea, and we are open to questions now.
Great. Thank you so much, Carlos. Finished well before time, so that's great. Thank you so much for sticking to the time. I will hand it over to the judges now. Judges, in case you don't have a question, if you could unmute yourself and let me know, or Gideon, I see you've unmuted yourself, so please feel free to pick it up.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that very interesting presentation. I just had a question about the idea of the diesel dual engine with hydrogen. I mean, to be completely kind of sustainable and carbon free, would it not be better to have to not have still diesel in it, but more focused towards ammonia as a cleaner entity, and also seems to be that ammonia seems to be where a lot of the, let's call, hydrogen developments are going when it comes to ships. There's a lot of dual ammonia ships being developed as a cleaner fuel versus diesel. And my second question is, where are you getting the hydrogen from with regard when you look at this stage?
Okay, so we thought about this diesel fuel, diesel hybrid with hydrogen because the technology is already proven. So it's there, it's ready to be used, and it will be easier and faster to adapt current diesel engines to the technology than to invest and research on the new ammonia hydrogen engines. The ADNOC is currently investing heavily on green hydrogen and green hydrogen infrastructure in the UAE. So we could tap into that.
Yeah, and I think, well, maybe also would be good to look closer to our boundaries at Kizat, because as you're probably aware of, Taka and other players looking to set up green hydrogen plants in Kizat, which is probably an easier, if those things happen, then you actually might have a source on hydrogen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we take in consideration the use of our current and existing in-house resources, which means all the stakeholders that can contribute to this solution.
Okay, and I think one last item. I think look, the diesel's all good. I think when it comes to trucks and all these things, I think batteries and fuel cell, hydrogen fuel cell items are also also solutions to stay clear from let's say diesel. But yeah, those were my last remarks.
Absolutely, we thought about that. So the idea now is to retrofit the existing fleets. So the perfect solution would be to every single element of a naval or land fleet to the future would be to buy EV, either hydrogen fuel cell or normal EV.
Great. Thank you, Gideon, for those questions. Other judges, if you would like to jump in, we have a couple of minutes left for the Q&A.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the interesting presentation. I just want to ask, like, how much modification we will require in the hardware of the engine to use the fuel, hydrogen fuel, in combination with diesel engine? And the second question, like, have you thought about like the storage of the fuel, like how much more storage space we will require if we will switch to this kind of fuel?
Carlos?
Yes, I'm here.
Did you hear the question?
No, I didn't.
So Dr. Mohammed had a question around what modifications would be required to the existing engines and how much more storage space would be needed.
So the modifications are currently still being developed, but it's creating a injection system. So the team at the university is now working on miniaturizing their initial concept, which you can see in this picture, which is obviously not viable, but the proof of concept is there. So it needs more engineering for it. This prototype, working prototype, was developed in October. So since October, they've been now getting other stakeholders on board to make their solution fully viable. And what was the other question? Sorry, if you don't mind repeating, Isham.
The storage space. So
storage, yes. Yeah. Okay, so there are currently companies developing fuel storage. In Europe, there's a company that just got 250 million euros to finalize that product that will be on the market in 2024 to have a viable fuel storage tank. Oh, and for naval, there's a conglomerate of Korean companies that last year got the approval from the government to develop their concept as well for marine fuel tank storage to power the engines. So these are already concepts that are 1 year in the development, and product is coming out for trucks. Product is coming out next year, and for marine, we would need to contact these conglomerates to get to find out where they are at the level of development.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much, Carlos. Judges, unfortunately, we are out of time. But thank you so much, Team 1, for your presentation. If I could ask you to go back to your team rooms. Judges, you can utilize this time to do your scoring. But thank you so much, Team 1.
Thank you.
Get a virtual applause from the entire room. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Judges, whenever you're done with your scoring, just please let me know and we can invite the next team in. Judges, are we ready for team 2? You can just drop it in the chat as well if you're done.
Yeah. Can you see if the score came through or not with this? I'm not sure. You have to be quite quick, right? Otherwise, you have to refresh. You have a couple of minutes.
We'll test the scores after.
I'm not sure. I mean, I wrote it down anyway, so I can redo it later.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
So yeah, a quick question, like, do we need to save it because it's keep reloading and every time it removes a score?
Every time I do it, it gets refreshed again.
Yeah. So is there any way to save it?
It shouldn't refresh since it's a live sheet, but in case you're facing this issue, just one moment. Are each of you on your individual scoring sheets?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Okay. So to not delay things, maybe if I could ask you to just note down the scores manually for now, while we figure it out in the back end, what the issue is, and we can ask Team 2 to get started, if that's okay. Apologies for that. Team 2, 5 minutes on the clock. We will be giving a bit of a bell or a chime at 4 minutes and 30 seconds, just so you can wrap up your presentation. But the floor is yours. Team 2.
Okay, who's sharing? Hello. Who's sharing the presentation?
The presentation.
Nafisa, you are sharing?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You can start.
Okay. Thank you for attending this pitch meeting. We are here glad to let you see what our innovative idea that we have come up with as a team. Next step, Fisa, please. Next slide. Okay, this presentation have been prepared by as a collaborative efforts from all over EduQ. So we have you can see all the team members here who are supported in this innovative idea. Next slide, please, Nafisa. Okay, next one, please. Okay, so actually here. Our focus area is innovation and new technologies. We took improvement efficiency. Our challenge is improving efficiency and optimizing cost through monitoring operational lead times and downtimes in production. Next slide, please. Okay, next one. So actually we went through the customer persona. So we limited the scope to airport, and we took the engineers. So the pain is a lengthy maintenance process they have, and multi-physical check. The gains after implementation of the idea will be like safety, optimize performance, reduce downtime. Jobs to be done is provide excellent customer service, digital marketing, training. Can you next, please, Nafisa? Next slide. Yeah, actually, now what is our value proposition? We have come up with an innovative idea, or is a smart twin that helps airports to solve their challenge of streamlining the visibility of upcoming maintenance by giving access to real-time information for airfield crane ships and reducing the safety risks. Yeah. The concept is around early equipment management. Our innovative idea will provide early equipment management, predictive analytics, simulation and testing, training and education, performance monitoring, and optimization. Next slide, please. Okay, so basically, a smart twin will contain the following features: real-time monitoring to track asset performance, identifying potential issues and responding proactively; simulation and analysis capabilities, enabling customers to model different scenarios and identify risk opportunities; predictive maintenance to minimize downtime, reduce maintenance cost; customization to meet specific customer needs with regards to data visualization, reporting capability, and integrating to other software, hardware, enabling data exchange and data exchange. Yes. Yeah. Next slide, please. Nafisa, can you hear me? Okay. So yeah, good. Now, in regards to cost structure, it will be technology infrastructure sensors, HR for specialist requirements, a partnership with other companies, industry, and academia, hosting services for channels that we're going to provide the service through digital marketing, events and conference, partnership, and collaborations. Next slide, please. Okay, Mizna, you want to talk about this slide?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, please? Hello?
Yes, we hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, my name is Mizna. I'm gonna identify the customer segment. We have three type of segments. We have a government segment, business and commercial, individual segments. I'll start with government segment. The government segment segmentation model enables communicators to better understand citizen and to create greater alignment between citizen needs and government service of messages. And we have a lot of the service type like warehouse management, waterways management, public water transport, payments and securities, marine infrastructure projects. Who is the segment of government? Okay. We have Abu Dhabi government, federal government, ministries, Fujairah government, port authorities in other Emirates. And I'll talk about the business and commercial segments. What is the commercial segment? The commercial segment of a party means such parties commercialization service business, including selling solution, communications, consulting, and medication adherence. The type of service, we have ATLB, warehouse leasing, public water transport, payments, like no objections letters, channel payments, marine service. And the segments of commercial, local companies in Abu Dhabi, over 4,000 companies, and other companies in other Emirates, international companies. The last one is individual segment. It is an individual human being who likes or prefers something specified in the list of service or products. The type of service: jet ski leasing, public water transport, waterways management.
Hi, Mizna.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, but your time has finished, so we have to hand it over to the judges. Thank you so much for your presentation. Judges, over to you. Iman or Kailing, if you have any questions. Other judges, please feel free to jump in now.
Yeah, just one. Can you just explain? I know there's a lot of information, and I think I'm just trying to understand where what kind of the innovation part is and where it could have. But are you able just to explain in maybe 30 seconds in a very simplistic way of what the pitch is about from a value proposition? Just because I hear a lot of buzzwords and a lot of technicalities, and I'm trying to pitch them together. But can you just explain I see digital twin, I see airport, so many things. Are you able just to rephrase it in a way that, okay, this is just summarize it?
I can replace it. For example, like creating virtual replica or aircraft engines can be used to monitor performance in real time, predict maintenance needs, and simulate potential failures or malfunctions. This can help airlines improve safety, reduce maintenance costs, and improve operational efficiency. Actually, it's for the airports and the ports at the same time, and then we can expand to other industry.
So this is a proven technology for airports?
For airports, for the ports, it can be the same. It's first you need to replicate the aircraft or the ships or the port in a digital way, and then from there you can monitor all the real-time process or performance of your assets, of warehouses and everything. So you can have prediction of any malfunctions, it's in a real time of the maintenance productivity.
Okay, and this was also been. Did you run this past or together with the digital cluster? Are they aware of this type of technology?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Is this also being checked, or have you also discussed this technology with Makta or our digital cluster?
Actually, not yet. We just came up with this idea and we get.
No, I'm just checking. Okay, clear. Thank you. Okay. That's it from my side.
Thank you. This is Iman Khalaqi. Thank you for the presentation. I like the idea, and it can be applicable in different, domains, airports, ports, any operational places. However, I think it is a bit wider. I think as Abu Dhabi ports, I'm taking an example as Abu Dhabi ports, being focused in a one operation, and making sure that we plug all, those techniques in one area, just to make sure that we are making sure that it's working well, then we can. But it's a great idea. I really like it. However, I think we need to just think of one use case and go for it, because here it talks about many things, about predictive analysis, about asset management, about efficiency and smart twinning and so on. So I think if we can apply it in the future in very focused area and see the results out of it, then we can apply it in different way. But in general, it's a good idea. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I agree with you. We can start with one area and we can grow for other parties. Thank you.
Other judges, any questions? Going once, going twice. Done. Thank you so much, Team 2. Great presentation. If I could ask you to return back to your team room while the judges do their scoring. But thank you so much once again for your presentation. Oh, and sorry, a virtual applause emoji for you. Great job.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Harshit. Just if you could give us a couple of moments. Judges, are we ready for Team 3?
Yeah, sure.
Great. So Harshit, if you could share your screen.
I want to just a quick note. Can you guys stop sharing? It says here.
The screen already has.
Yes, yes. We're just, yeah. There we go. So you should be able to share now.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Should we start?
Yes, you have 5 minutes on the clock. There will be a chime to let you know around the 4-minute and 30-second mark that you can start wrapping up your presentation. But yeah, the floor is yours. Best of luck.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I have Team Jury. We are Team 3, and just a quick introduction of our team. So we have, people with strong experience across strategy, product development, and communication. Myself, Harshit Garg. We have Nirmal from Kizad. We have Kareem from the Marcom SNG team, and we have Maha from the Transmar team. And the idea which we want to share and discuss today is based on a problem which we identified in terms of the solution or the product which Maritime Cluster is offering. So the right now what consumers are facing is that there is no single authentic information for the cruise and water activities which are organized by the cluster. Somewhere lack of real-time updates and a unified platform, right, which can help them from scheduling to bookings to receiving updates. And that's where we see there's an opportunity for the cluster to digitize their customer offerings,
Also, in that sense, there will be an opportunity to get all the user data, which can help us provide more valuable offerings, and upward integration with ADQ portfolio. How do we define the entire solution that in terms of a mobile app? So we list all the products and services of the cluster in one place, which will be a mobile app, which will be available in both iOS and Android. The target customer segment will be all international tourists visiting UAE plus the UAE residents. How we are different is that right now only third-party apps or companies are providing this information. But this is, if we provide from a cluster perspective from AD Ports Group, then it will be, from the horse's mouth, we get all the information, we get real-time updates, and we also can offer competitive pricing because we are getting away of the middleman or the third-party people, and we control the entire customer base, and we can provide them enhanced experiences, and we use big data to provide better customer preferences in terms of cross sell, upsell. We can use the entire data to also sell to ADQ companies. For example, we can club demand insurance with the water sports activities. That is something we can invite other ADQ portfolio companies in the entire portfolio. The opportunity size, if we look at it, so if we look at how we have arrived at it is tourist arrivals. Largely, the number is around 25 million arrivals expected to be in this year, and that is growing at around 7%. So expected to around 40 million by 2030. Sorry. Yeah, and the population of UAE is around 10.5 million by 2030. So the total potential set is 50 million by 2030. And if we take right now, the average tourist spend is around 7,000 to 8,000 AD in UAE. Out of which we are assuming around 50% would be on leisure activity, and out of that share, we're just taking 10% to be the share which they spend on water sports activities in maritime cluster, and taking 10% of the annual tourist and this spend, the market size is almost 2 to 3 billion AD as the revenue. Obviously, the benefit will be the margin which we save, which we're right now paying to any third-party app for giving us the customers. So that is the 10-15% margin which we save, which will directly be our profits. So we are seeing, a profit in the range of 0.2 to 0.380 billion by 2030. Going to the plan to reach out to the customers, I think we'll follow a typical offline and online methodology, reaching out to customers through various channels. I think very important thing is that we'll start with AD Ports employees, we'll move on to ADQ portfolio group employees, and then we'll move on to the rest of the population as we are able to popularize the entire app. In terms of the ask from the jury, what we have come here is today is that with an idea of digitizing the services by maritime cluster with a significant revenue and profit potential by going away from the third party in between. So what we want is a task force to support the core team in terms of people from maritime cluster, from corporate research, from corporate commercial, and from digital cluster, along with the esteemed advisors from our group, corporate innovation team from ADQ, and people who are sitting in the jury who can advise us. And with the right task force, what we envisage at the next steps is that we want to align with the internal stakeholders across corporate and maritime cluster. Then we want to do a detailed research. Right now the numbers on the market and customer needs are just half a day or 1 day kind of research and brainstorming, but we want to develop it further, and then we want to validate the tech feasibility with the digital team and the monetization plan with the commercial team, and develop a full-fledged business model and a rollout plan. So that's the kind of ask from our side. This is it from our side, and happy to now take questions from Judy.
Thank you so much, Harshit, for that. Interesting presentation. Judges, over to you. Kailing, we haven't heard from you, or Dr. Muhammad, if maybe you'd like to jump in.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Kailing, we can hear you.
Thank you. I've got a question. Thanks for the presentation. You mentioned in the presentation that today the maritime services are being marketed through third parties. So if you were to move onto a digital channel where you sell directly to customers, are there already existing sort of sales channels and downstream operational teams available within the maritime sector, or is this going to be a new business team that has to be spun up?
I think how we look at it.
Can I answer that, please, from a marketing perspective? We have our own channel, social media channel, to disseminate notification and or progress related to maritime channel. But it depends, like each channel has its own audience and segments or segmentation or demographics, etc., etc. Plus, we're dealing with channels that, okay, we own them, but like they are also like considered third parties. Okay, we can acquire analytics and many insights, but after all, we don't own them like as if we are owning an app, because like from a customer acquisition point of view, when we have data, when we have push notification, we can retarget or remarket this audience in a better way, in a more unified or integrated way. That's the X factor needed in that. As for the other third parties, like let's say what's on Abu Dhabi, other website touristic ones, it's really hard to acquire data from them or to ask them like what's going on. They can send us a report, but it takes time. It's not like immediately. Me personally, I don't trust a lot of reports unless like I'm generating them. So it will solve one of the problems from a marketing perspective. It's like, halas, we have it, and then if we want to expand into other channels, that's going to be a supplement. Thank you.
No, I think that's perfectly fair, but there's probably two pieces, right? One is for using the channel as a means to disseminate information. So you mentioned today you already have those, but what we're hearing in the pitch earlier is around sort of selling services. So the question is more, so tomorrow if you have this app that is able to sell directly cruise services or kayak services was one of the example that you've listed, do we already within, and pardon me because I'm not familiar with the business setup directly, do we within maritime services have the capabilities today, the team set up to do the fulfillment of these, if we were to suddenly get an influx of sort of customers from travelers to residents trying to book directly? Do we have systems in place, people in place who are already doing this, or would we need to spin up a sales organization to support this?
If I can answer that, right now maritime cluster is already getting service providers to provide these activities, or maybe doing it through tie-ups. Right. The only thing is right now it's being done offline in a way. The entire information is being shared to a third party, and who list it on their apps or websites, and it's not consolidated on a single platform. So what we are doing is we are unifying entire information on a single app, which is done from the group itself and not from any other party outside. Now to do that, our commercial team in maritime cluster would be able to handle the entire business set of activities. We may need a small set of team, maybe, which is interface between maybe like a product manager, who interfaces between the digital team and the commercial team, who can take this ahead in terms of developing the entire thing and taking it ahead. But I think in terms of the business and the digital individual teams we have in the group, only thing is we may need an interface like a product manager or something, maybe a small team of 2-3 people who can kind of do it, run it in the longer run.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, and just to very quickly expand on that, Kai, one of the things that we were as a team discussing is this is a specific use case that we have for the maritime cluster. What value we are trying to bring for ADQ group of companies as well as AD ports is the data, the big data application, as well as artificial intelligence. That we would build around the B2C platform like this, and this can really be applied to various different companies and businesses that they have. But this is more of a test case that we chose to make a specific use case out of it.
Thank you. That's clear.
Helps. Yeah. Thanks. Hope that helps.
I think the information dissemination piece, that's quite straightforward. That it's almost a no-brainer. Yes, it makes sense to have a centralized source of information. So if I want to know anything about all the services that Abu Dhabi Maritime offers, there's a central source. I know that is the single source of truth. I can get all of my information there today versus having to scramble, look on what's on and all of that. The where I'm seeing a potential challenge is the e-commerce bit, because once you start establishing this as a platform, then you have third-party downstream suppliers who maybe do your kayaks, for instance, or do your boats. You'll need to set up the links back to their e-commerce platforms. And if I'm interacting with Abu Dhabi Maritime, that's your brand reputation, right? So if I book a kayak and it doesn't show up, I want to contact Abu Dhabi Maritime because I used your platform to do it. So do we have customer support teams available? Do we have fulfillment teams available to support that?
Yeah, I think that entire customer support team will have to be developed when we provide these services, because this is kind of a customer service, as you rightly mentioned, and we'll have to even have the entire schedule ready. Talk to all the service providers, get their firm schedule. Shortlist the right service providers with quality and kind of offerings they have. So all of those things will have to be developed. And definitely along with that, there'll be a team who will act as an interface between the customers and the service providers from Maritime Cluster. And just to also point one thing on what Nirmal was saying is that what we started was with the thinking of a super app of ADQ, what he was trying to say, and then we kind of drill down to have a use case from Maritime Cluster. That super app will be like a kind of an app in which all ADQ portfolio companies are there, and there are two things, the benefits of it. One is you get kind of royalty points as you try to shop within ADQ portfolio company, that incentivizes people to stick to ADQ portfolio company. And the benefit for ADQ is that you get more customer retention and also the right information data on customers and how you can kind of cross-sell and upsell, and also branding, because a lot of times people would not know that such a diverse set of companies are within ADQ. So I mean, those are the kind of the way we started to think and how we drill down to a use case in AD Ports Group.
I apologize to interrupt, but we're out of time. Thank you so much for your presentation. Judges, thank you for your questions. If I could ask Team 3 to go back to your team rooms. Thanks again for your presentation. Great job. You also get a virtual applause emoji.
We should get a rocket or something. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, team.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
Judges, are we ready for the final team, Team 4?
Yes.
Great. Yeah. All right. Well, we're almost at the end of the pitching session. Thank you so much, judges, for your questions. We will be inviting the final team now to have their presentation.
Hisham, Team 4 is here.
Great. Hi, Team 4. Yasmin, Manar. Please go ahead and share your screen. All right, great.
Hello.
Yes, hi Khalid. A sea of potential. It's a very interesting name. So just to recap, you'll have 5 minutes. There is a timer. However, just in case, there will be a chime at 4 minutes and 30 seconds, so you can start wrapping up your presentation. But yeah, the floor is yours, so best of luck.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. This is Khalid Nasser, and today I'll be presenting on behalf of our team. Our presentation is called A Sea of Potential. Our table of content will cover problem statement, the solution, blockchain distributed ledger, business and revenue model, then the next steps. Regarding the problem statement, A Sea of Potential, although ED Pools Group has grown massively, mashallah, in terms of acquisitions, yet it lacks a unified platform that collect, integrate, and create synergies to be able to overcome the next 3 U's. The first one is the untapped opportunities. By untapped opportunities, we mean that we can have a better matchmaking for the opportunities and share the opportunities between the different levels and different companies. The second one is the underutilized assets, which will cause high storage costs, high repositioning costs, limited routes, higher operational costs, and last but not least, higher insurance. The last one is the unused people capabilities due to deficiency of changing people's skills, knowledge, and expertise. Our solution here is that we provide a digital platform that will collect, analyze, and match-make opportunities across ED Pools levels, and accordingly enhance group asset utilization and elevate talents and expertise exchange. The platform is mainly divided into 3 main modules. The first one is the opportunity matchmaking. For example, if a company has an opportunity, if this opportunity is shared across the different levels of the other companies, we can generate a lot of revenue rather than securing this opportunity for only one company. The second one is the asset utilization module, which reflects better utilization for our containers, better routing, and building better network across different locations. The last one is the people module, which will help us to connect people in or assign people in different projects and get used to their values and their skills across different companies. We selected the second module, the asset utilization module, and we decided to dig deeper. My friend Noor will continue this part.
Thanks, Khalid. So now we're merging our assets for better utilization, for larger market share, and more revenue. And actually, there are a lot of challenges that are going to face us when we do so. Firstly, how to keep tracking of our assets, where our assets are, in whose custody, and in which condition or status. Second is how to connect all these assets all together. For instance, how to connect or allocate a specific container for a specific shipper and has it loaded on a specific vessel. Lastly, and most importantly, is how to get the group subsidiaries teams working cross-functionally all together to achieve this. This is basically when a blockchain distributed ledger comes in handy. It is, think of it like we're building our ERP systems on a top of technology that allows you to do all of the above and even more. It is basically a database that is spread across a network of computers, and it is a secure database because this database is based on a cryptographic algorithm that ensures the data cannot be tampered or altered. It is useful in so many aspects. It provides real-time visibility, better collaboration, better asset and financial tracking, and accordingly cost savings. With that, I hand over to Khalid.
Thank you, Noor. And now let's move to the best part, or the most important part, the business and revenue model. How would the company get a benefit from this platform? The first part is the one-stop shop. By one-stop shop, we mean offering a comprehensive end-to-end solution to be able to lock in our customers. The second one is maximizing revenue by better matchmaking opportunities across different companies. The third one is better utilization for our containers and building better network across different locations for our vessels. The last one, reducing our asset operational cost. Then fully automating talent allocation across 84 group subsidiaries, group level visibility for better steering and decision making. Last but not least, when we know what our customer want and what we are currently offering, we can easily spot what our next acquisition is. The last part is our next steps or the action plan. First thing is to secure a sponsor, and by sponsor here we mean one from the management team to sponsor this project. The second one, strategy and direction alignment. Then finally deciding in the kickoff phase. Then assessing group subsidiary status. Then
Hello.
coordinating with respective stakeholder, for example, the digital cluster. Last but not least, deploy.
I need change. I need change.
Design, develop, test, deploy, maintain, and then reiterate. Thank you so much and have a safe road.
Thank you so much, Khaled. Great presentation, very, very interesting idea. Over to the judges. If you have any questions, Dr. Muhammad, we haven't heard from you in case you have a question, or Iman, Gideon, Kailing.
Just a quick one from my side. Interesting concept. I just wondering, you talk about matchmaking of opportunities. How are these opportunities then analyzed? I mean, if you would have to check on certain strategic criteria of opportunities, and are they in line with Abu Dhabi Ports Group strategy and vision? How are those captured in this system?
Okay. For example, we have different opportunities across different companies. The idea here is to create a list that should be a list of data that should be covered in all opportunities, and then each company system should fill in this data. Then we would integrate all the data in the platform, and then the process of matchmaking will start. For example, we will analyze all the customers that export from Egypt, and then this commodity or this cargo will flow to UAE. Then we'll match this opportunity with the company that is operating in UAE to be able to offer the full service or the end-to-end service to the customer.
Okay. Also, I'll add on what Khaled has mentioned. For a container to get shipped from one place to another, it takes from 8 to 12 companies to operate. So it is only 1 or 2 companies of the group that operates through that end-to-end supply chain process. So what we're coming up with is basically how to provide all those aspects end-to-end by navigating group's power and selecting a specific company that provides a spot that we don't provide for this customer, and then we fill that gap. This is basically the model.
Hello?
Yes. Any other questions, judges? Going once, going twice. Done. All right. Thank you, Team 4. I guess it was a great presentation since the judges didn't have that many questions. But thank you so much for your presentation. If I could ask you to please go back to your team rooms while we do the judges' deliberations, and then we will ask you to come back here shortly for the winner's announcement.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Also, as with everyone, you also get a virtual applause emoji from my side for a great job. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, judges. Manar, I believe if you could go back to your team room, that would be great. Also, Yasmin. In the meantime, judges, my colleague Haya will just take you to a private area to finalize your scores, and then we will all gather back in here to decide the winner. So Haya, if you could take the judges.
Thank you, Cham. So I'll just put you to me in a private room, and we can just jot down all your results, and you should be good to go.
Hi, judges. Just a quick update. Just waiting to finalize Dr. Muhammad's scores. And then we will just have a short discussion on who we think the winning team should be. In case you already have your favorites or the ones that you think should win, just, please keep a note of that. And yeah, we'll be back shortly. So, judges, it seems Dr. Muhammad is having some technical issues. So while we finalize his scores, maybe if we could just hear from each of you, which team do you think should be the winning team? From the scores perspective, I mean, minus Dr. Muhammad's scores, it seems like Team 4 is the winning team. But I always like to ask, the quantitative side is one aspect, but then there's a qualitative side as well. So maybe Gideon, since
Yeah. Thank you. I thought the first two ideas. Let's start with the hydrogen one. I thought it was a bit thin. It needed a lot more substance. I think they kind of brushed over it quite broadly, and especially a topic that has so many layers and so many moving parts. I thought it required a bit more, and I thought the diesel part was not the most innovative from a sustainability point of view. So for me, they didn't get the strongest points. Same with the second one. I wasn't they were rushing through it, and it's complicated. At least for me, it was. I couldn't keep up with what they're trying to say. It was they were jumping left, right, and center on all the digital thing, and then there were airports this and ports that, and for me, idea on paper okay, but then where the impact and the innovative part, and so I again those two didn't really make it for me, and then the last two were the best ones. I think the mobile app story, those are kind of concrete good ideas that could where you can actually see impact for the group. It's innovative and all these type of things. So I thought the last two, and again the last one was also kind of really honing in on a smart solution, on finding utilization and opportunities there. So between those two, the last two, those were in my opinion the better two of the four.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Valuable insights. Iman, please go ahead.
Hi. I believe all of them they did good job, but as I'm agreeing with Gideon in terms of novelty of the ideas and being a little bit considerate on focusing on the ideas. The first two still I think they are not give more emphasis on the ideas, and as well as mentioned by Gideon that using hybrid thing, it's not even helping the environment. And also in terms of the second idea, it was as I mentioned before, it was wide, very broad. We couldn't tackle exactly what's their idea. It's a mix of ideas and one idea, which made me losing the focus. Team three, it was a good idea, making sure that we are offering or the custom, we give a customized customer experience for the maritime and so on. But still my favorite is, I believe, يعني between team 3 and 4, I'm a bit confused who's the winning, but I believe both of them, they did very good job in terms of putting analysis, putting numbers behind it, finding a real problem to fix. And especially now we are expanding as a group, having different companies, maybe we have overlapping services across the group, and making a solution to make sure that we are complementing each other, giving a best a best experience for our customers, that it serves the whole group. I believe team 4, I believe they are winning in qualitative and quantitative.
Okay, great. And I definitely agree. I mean, on the first two ideas, I really like the kind of forward thinking in terms of digital twins or hydrogen energy, but I feel like they weren't able to really translate that into something which could be tangibly implemented, in a short period of time. Amina, if I could ask you to leave this space, please. But so I think both Gideon and Iman, the consensus is probably around team 4. Kai, don't want to, sway your assessment in any way, but it'd be great to hear your thoughts as well, and kind of which team you think was kind of your top one.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. I've been having a bit of technical problems. I think my opinion is slightly different from Gideon and Iman. I think if we just look at sort of
Lost you, Kaylee.
Kailing, sorry, your audio was just dropping for a second. If you could just repeat what you were saying. Oh, I think Kai is just refreshing her browser. So while we wait for her, overall, I would love to get your feedback, judges, in terms of, considering that they had only two, I wouldn't even say 2 full days, like 2 half days of working on their ideas. Like overall, what's your impression with the output that they've come up with, regardless of the type of ideas, just in terms of, the work that they were able to put in?
I believe it's amazing, having in 2 days and in a very, I think, new environment for them, having people from different places, different countries as well, and having them in one environment, very new, making them work on ideate, talk to each other, come up with these ideas. I know that some ideas need some time, but I believe it's amazing to have all these efforts in 2 days and a half.
Brian, if could we maybe speak with Kai on the Google Meets link, just try and sort out the connection issue if possible?
Can you repeat that, Hisham? I was fixing the streaming camera.
Oh, I was just saying if we could maybe check with Kai Ling.
All right. She's having audio issues.
Yes.
Is she? I hear her right now. She is with me in the Google Meet. Is she here as well?
She's in the pitch room. Is there a way, Brian, if we could just maybe the audio from the Google Meets through your audio can be funneled here?
Yes, I think we can. Just a second, let me speak with her and let her know that what are we going to do.
Sure.
Kailin, can you hear us? Can you turn on the microphone inside the platform, please?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I think we can hear you inside the platform. At least I can hear you inside the platform.
Are you
Hisham,
hearing
can you
me from the
confirm?
platform or Google Meet?
Yes, we hear you now.
Okay, Kai, you can continue talking and see that because apparently it comes and goes.
Can you hear me?
I mean, I can hear you in both, but I need Hisham.
Yeah, no. In the platform, the audio is choppy because I think it's a connection issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see what I can do. For example, if I share my screen and I put audio here. Okay. Can you try, Kailin? Can you turn off your microphone inside the platform and speak through Google Meet and see if people can hear you inside the platform?
Hello.
Yes, I think, Brian, it's working now. We can hear Kylie. But I'm not sure if she can hear.
This is working. Because I can hear my echo as well.
Okay, so to avoid that, my suggestion is to remove the avatar maybe from the room, just for you to avoid hearing your echo. Or another option is, you know where you allow the permissions inside the browser, where the URL is. You can also turn off the sound inside Frame. Oh, but you need the sound to hear people. Yeah, I'm thinking of how to avoid the echo.
I think it's all right.
I mean, you can, at least they will be able to hear you. Okay.
Okay, I'll just try to manage. I'm gonna assume that everybody can hear me. So quick feedback from my side. My view was slightly different. I thought team one, from a novelty perspective,
Sorry, Kylie, Brian, I think
It
people can
was
hear you in
interesting
the
because
other
they
area.
looked at what was being done from an academia perspective and then the potential of bringing it into commercialization.
Hisham has said something. Hisham, I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Because
Yeah, I believe people can hear Kylie outside of the pitching room as well. That shouldn't.
that should not be. How do you know people are hearing it outside the room?
Someone just put it in the chat. So. Yeah.
So okay, let me see if I can modify this. Make private zone. I'm going to put positional audio near. Okay, so I just changed the audio settings. People should not be able to hear it out. Only people that are near the screen will be able to hear it. I would like people to confirm that. Somebody that's outside.
Brian, since some of the team members are coming to the pitch room, I'm just going to take the judges to the private area now.
Okay. Yes.
I thought they were talking to us about Team One, so that's why we came here.
No, they're deliberating.
Okay.
So in the process of deliberation, the thing is that we were using a different mechanism. So
Okay,
apparently
we'll go back
you
to our
were.
room.
Yes, the thing is that we're trying to fix to avoid people listening.
Okay, because we were hearing
Yes, I
in our
understand.
room. That's why we came here. We go back.
All right. Okay, so I stopped sharing. I'm going to where Hisham is. Hisham.
وين راحوا؟ بابلو عمر.
I'm around. No, I was hearing you a moment ago. I'm not hearing you at the moment. Iman, where are you? Yes.
But it just seems like you're. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for your patience. Teams, great job, especially considering that you only had realistically a couple of hours to work on these ideas. The judges' feedback was great, very, very impressive, in terms of the ideation process itself, the concepts that you came up with. And just the overall enthusiasm and energy that you put in. I really appreciate it. Even though we had a couple of technical issues, but as I've always said, when you're trying new things, expect issues to pop up. So once again, I would like to extend a special thank you to all of our judges, Iman, Dr. Muhammad, Gideon, and Kai, for their time and their valuable insights as well, to all the participating teams. To the teams, I know a lot of you are excited to hear. Unfortunately, there must only be one winner. But what I would say is, whether you win today or you don't, please do continue working on your ideas. You've developed new relationships within your organization, so leverage those. Continue building on those ideas. And hopefully, you could convert these ideas into a reality at some point in the future. And that's the overall message of the hackathon in general. But without further ado, I would do a virtual drum roll, but we don't really have that at the moment. So, all of you, please put your hands together for the winning team, which is Team 4. Congratulations, Team 4.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're super happy and excited.
Thank you so much for the enthusiasm. It's really great to see that even though it's a virtual setting, that we're all still equally excited in the in-person world. Once again, to the other teams, as I said, all the judges gave fantastic feedback, and they encourage all the teams to continue working on their ideas. Before I hand it over to Iman for the final closing remarks, I also would just like to give a huge thank you and shout out to the platform team, Brian specifically, and his team. They've really been instrumental in our event. So please give them a round of emojis, applause, whatever it may be. But Iman, the virtual floor is yours to officially close off the Innovation Hackathon.
Thank you, Hisham. Can everyone hear me now?
We can.
Yes, we can.
Okay. I would like to thank everyone. I would like to thank the participants that being pioneering our first, Metaverse Hackathon. It was, a great experience, and having you in our first experience using the Metaverse for our hackathon, it's something very, very special for us. And also, I would like just to give a very positive remarks about the ideas that we got today, the amount of efforts that been done to come up with those ideas. And for me, every idea was winning, but unfortunately we need to find the final idea, and we have one winner. But for me, it's everyone is winning. The experience itself, is very enlightening and giving us some tools and some ways how to innovate, how to make sure that we are tackling issues, helping each other, seeking information, seeking help from different people, and getting to know each one of you, and have seas, have miles. We are apart, and we are still met virtually, having fun. I would like to thank all the participants. I would like to thank the judges, Kayling from ADQ, Dr. Mohammed Saeed from Abu Dhabi Maritime Academy. We have Gideon, our VP of Commercial, and myself as well. And the special also thanks to Plug and Play, who made it happening for us to have the first Metaverse Hackathon. They were very patient in our requirements, and they were very, they are our partner, yet they were our also gurus in the hackathons and so on. Also, I would like to thank Brian and his team for his usual support. They are here, tolerating Jihan. I know Jihan is being a little bit, sometimes pushy. Uh, and also, I would like to thank the innovation team, Pablo, Jihan, Omar, Abdullah, and the rest of the team for supporting the whole experience. Keep innovating. This is only a start. I would like you guys to work more on your ideas. Find maybe alternative for ideas, making little bit focused, in your thoughts. We are as human, we tend to expand a lot, but for you, just try to make sure that you tackle issue by issue, problem by problem, to see immediate results. Then you will find it easier to go for more complex challenges. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Iman, for your kind words. Absolutely, Plug and Play is happy to be a partner with Abu Dhabi Ports Group. This Metaverse Hackathon journey, and I'm sure Pablo, Jihan, and Omar will maybe laugh a little. It started end of last year, and from that point to this point now, it's a very proud feeling to have been able to contribute, but most importantly to instill the mindset on innovation and all the different elements that you touched on as well. Once again, just to wrap up, thank you so much, teams, for joining us. Thank you so much, judges. There is a QR code on the screen. If you could just quickly scan it with your phones to fill out a survey. We'd love to hear feedback. Any ways you think we can improve, we're always open to hearing about it. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. And
thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jihan, and thank you, everyone. If you want, we can take a group picture of everybody. I'm going to enable the full body avatar. Only if Jihan and Hisham are okay with it.
Yes, please.
Let's try here.
Why not?
Sure thing. All right. So maybe we can take the group picture here in the middle where the timer is. We can put every avatar here facing the camera. Maybe put a nicer background.
Yeah, so
I don't know what you think.
Yeah, so I'm just going to share the screen now with the photo that we can use as the backdrop.
Hiccup. This is this is an experimental feature.
Okay.
So it does create.
I think it has caused some
glitches, right?
Yes.
Okay, see if you can move. If not, then
I mean, I can move, but yeah, I don't think I can share screen because that's just the alignment has just gone out of all the assets.
Yeah, I suppose we can just go with this background. What do you guys say?
Yes, I think that would be great. If we can maybe just space out a little bit, that would be great. And maybe, you know, some of us can even sit down on the seats, if that's okay. So normally, I mean, we would do the whole 3, 2, 1, please smile countdown. But in this particular case, I believe my colleague Iman is kind of just taking a couple of photos. Brian and his team are taking a couple of photos as well. In case, you know, you just want to send out some emojis or anything like that, that would be great. Otherwise, that officially concludes the hackathon. I know everyone has a lot of work to get back to, so thank you once again for joining us today.
All right, thank you, everyone.